Dude. That's crazy. That's
wild,
actually
bro.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's actually crazy.
I know I'm usually just a douchebag, but we're switching the vibes up today because I hit the best ace of my life and needed to share with all of you. A soon-to-be top disc golf course in the world, of course designed by Paul McBeth. Swiss and I were headed to Waco, Texas, only an 8-hour drive to, well, the nearest Cracker Barrel parking lot. Since we had time before the next DGPT tournament, we had the chance to play the course before the professionals came to town. So the next day, we headed to Brazos Park to play the Beast. Actually, I spent the first 6 hours of the day sitting in the back of Panera, editing This Week in Disc Golf, hoping no one would bother me for not ordering anything. I refuse to believe anything on that menu is a full meal. After that was uploaded, we made our way to the course. Hungry, dirty, and not knowing what to expect, I stepped out of the minivan, or how I refer to it, home. Only for a car to quickly pull up next to us with a window rolling down, and a dude yelling at us saying we're the clickbait YouTubers. I guess it's better than what I would call myself, so that's okay. Nick would then introduce himself and tell us he's a fan, and then somehow we ended up playing around with the gem of Waco. Later I learned he has this superpower that gives him the ability to find himself doing random cool shit. I seriously watched this dude somehow have Calvin Heimberg throw a disc out of his bag, and then he made his way on the tee pad and threw with him. Wild stuff, but I gotta respect it. And since we had never played this course before, we needed a tour guide to ensure we didn't get lost. As I approached hole 1, I realized I honestly can't remember much about this course. Although the first hole was one of the more iconic, so at least I had that one figured out. Nick might have been talking about this stupid local route, but even I'm not dumb enough to try that. Instead, I took the flip-up forehand down the middle, hoping it wouldn't roll too much off the hill. Thankfully, it didn't. Unfortunately, I suck at putting. But I'm going to blame it on no practice putting before. Not sure how long I'm allowed to do that, but I'm going to milk it as much as I can. Hole 2 is another one that I remembered because of the river on the right, and it being an easier par 4, I always remembered if I could get. Or at least I'm betting I did, because I thought that about nearly every hole on the Pro Tour. For context, as I'm writing this video, a month has already gone by. I know, I'm a shitty YouTuber, but I've been busy. But here's a sneak peek. I've been absolutely loving the Clash Tone Salt, so pay extra attention to when I throw that disc. And they happen to be dropping this Friday on April 5th, and I would not be mad if someone got me one. Just saying. After my drive, I went with a forehand flex with a splice, hoping it would die soon before the OB, even giving me a skip close to the basket that put me in bullseye for the first birdie of the round. I really wish I had an excuse for my drive on hole 3, but it was just one of those moments I sucked. I was left with a soft approach, taking the easy par. Good thing we'd be heading to the wooden section of the course next to spice things up. My guy told me the play was skip something near the point the fairway started to drift left, and although I hardly listened to the unsolicited advice Nick gave me, this time I would agree. However, I hit a bit short of the landing zone and ended up being a bit pinched in the left side woods. Nick should have listened to his own advice because I don't think hitting first available was the play. I managed to flex the yarn around some trees for a long look at birdie from seat 2, giving myself the faintest hope I could make some magic happen. And just like every girl I've slept with, was left disappointed. We don't need to talk about that putt. There's no pictures on the scorecard after all. Plus, I'm not even warmed up yet. The next hole set up perfectly for a forehand with my 2021 Sexton Firebird. You know, the best run ever made. That's not even debatable, so I'm just going to move on. But shout out to Velvet Thunder for the steal on a cool dyed one. I needed a more stable version to pair with the one that I've beaten more than a redheaded stepchild. I mean, that thing does do whatever the hell I want it to, and is a top 3 disc in my bag. After a standard shot with the Sexton, I banged in a 25-foot putt under a branch for birdie. May have nicked it in, but that was all part of the plan. Speaking of my love, hole 6 I went with the stepchild and left it a bit short, but I don't care what she says, I call it average. Tried to bang in the first stepper of the day, but I had a worse rim job than a Licky Tongue's wife. Finally, a hole I walked up to that I immediately remembered, the infamous Eagle opportunity. I was forced to go for it, of course. My thought process is, I don't know if I'll ever be back to this course, so how do I not go for every cool shot I possibly can? So I grabbed my baby, the sexiest 7-year-old I've ever seen. Disc, the sexiest disc. Should have phrased that better. The most understable destroyer in my bag. Makes sense when I've been throwing it for the past 7 years. At this point, it has become the perfect disc for flip-up forehands. Left it a bit short, and I think if I had another shot, I'd be able to get something in the ravine. At least. Still had a soft approach and settled with the birdie. Hole 8, I went back to the yarn that's been feeling good all day. This shot was on the longer side for me, since I don't like to overpower the disc on forehand. That's when I noticed the oat. No, I'm not talking the Quakers. Off-axis torque. Or oat. I'm not explaining that shit to you. That's not my job. I got you this far. Go Google it. Even though I sawed my drive off, I found myself inside the circle with an uphill putt, which I buried for another birdie, and I can officially say my putt is warmed up. I told you guys we'd get here. Feeling confident with my sidearm sexton shot, I went back with the newer one, giving it some more power. As you can see, the bit of turn it got, which shouldn't be that typical out of a new Firebird. I didn't push far enough, so I had this weird approach shot, which set me up with another standard approach and tapping in the 4. Hole 10 is a smash, so I went with the Destroyer. In all honesty, looking back, I should have thrown the Tone, but I think I just missed throwing the Destroyer, so I went with it. Good thing too, as I threw about as good as a shot as I could. Too bad this was when I realized I'd forgotten my old 21 Sexton back on a science shot a few holes back, and there was no way I was going to leave that course without it. So I sprinted all the way back to grab it, and when I got back to the boys, we were moving on to the next hole. Nick was showing me this crazy tomahawk line he swears was something people should do. Personally, I think that was stupider than someone putting with premium plastic. Ignoring him, I went with my C-Line FD that if you guys have been subscribed, you should be familiar with. Put some hyzer on it, and as it flipped up straight, someone in the back called for some turn, and as on command did just that, finding center chains for the ace. I don't want to hear shit about the tree being in the way of the recording. I wasn't even thinking ace, so I just plopped the tripod and hit record. Go back to posting the thigh selfies. You can hear the chain singing, and the reaction is equally cringy and awesome, so I'll let you guys experience that as I did.
Turn a little more. Yo! Let's go, dude!
That's crazy.
That's
That's
wild,
actually
bro.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's actually crazy.
Dude, that it just like
Oh, that's not gonna be seen on camera at all, I feel.
did you not record that?
No, I did, but I
You
just
did,
feel like
but
the
it-
tree's gonna be in the way,
tree's
my
gonna be in
body's
the
gonna be in the way.
Holy
Dude, that was
shit,
just,
'cause it was
that
just-
us though, right?
Because it was like this.
That was crazy though, right?
yeah.
It
I
just,
thought
like,
it was there. That's
floated.
why I said turn a little bit. I thought it was there, bro.
As I'm literally tying my shoes, I look up and I see the disc literally rising up towards the basket or around that
That's
tree.
definitely my best ace though, for sure.
Texas done.
Holy fuck.
Well done, bro.
Damn, bro, I got goosebumps, dog. Holy.
I seriously think this is my greatest ace of all time, for a couple of reasons. The first being this course is on the Pro Tour, so that's baller to say. Second, I got a Texas ace to add to my state list. Then of course, it was with an awesome disc. And my favorite being that this memory will now live on in one of the best possible ways. A story. Being on this road trip, experiencing as much different culture as I can, my goal is to leave as much of a legacy about myself as I can. Hitting that ace did just that in Waco, Texas. If you spend 5 seconds with Nick, you quickly realize he has about 1 million different stories, and conveniently enough, one for every and any situation possible. I don't even have to see him again to know when he plays this hole with friends. From now on, that moment will be told, and that goes for every time he plays it, with whoever, until it becomes a part of the area's culture. And from there, the story can live on. This is one of those aspects of disc golf that isn't in lots of other hobbies, and is something that makes me love this game so much. And if you don't believe people would give a shit about this, then at least another round posted on his page and 50,000 people saw it. Plus all of you too, so I got that going for me. Another thing I really love about disc golf is the made-up traditions you see from every course. When heading to the next hole, there's a gap. So instead of the long pointless walk, the locals play a $1 CTP to the tree. My mission is to try and find out about as much of the hidden ins and outs of courses similar to that. So if I'm coming to your area, let me know. Next stop is Jonesboro. I think my new life goal is to be the guy for area disc golf, finding all the different types of courses and showing them to you guys. My eating challenges will be the discs I talk about. I don't know about you guys, but I think I'm onto something here. At least it's better than this drive, because that shit's on the road, which if we were playing my home courses rules, would give my cardmates permission to kick me in the dick. After that shank, I needed my security blanket. But again, leaving the sexton short for a misstep putt. Do you think old school Firebird throwers would lend me their blue chew? Because I think I need help getting my putts up. I threw the gate hole, guys, even if they did take the basket out. I felt like it was a must after all. It sucked harder than Tina that the pros didn't play it in the tournament, so I had to give the people what they wanted. I don't know what you guys think, but that looks like a birdie to me. The most Texas experience I had was Nick casually pulling up this bullet shell next to the tee pad. Fuck that though, watch this bang. Wild Honey Baby for the easy birdie. And that's unfortunately all the holes I have on camera, since I was dumb clearing space and deleted the rest of the ones we played. So yeah, I suck. I want to give a quick shout out to Nick for not only showing us around the beast, but the next day when we were checking out Lake Waco, he gave us a personal tour guide driving us around on the golf cart. One of the cooler experiences from the tour so far. If you like this style of video, let me know, because I can do more like it, or if you don't, please let me know too, because I don't know what the hell you guys want to see. Would be nice if some cool homies drop some suggestions down below. Waco was just a quick stop we had in the Texas swing that I spent over a month in. Was able to get that sick ace, but next Tour Stories episode, I'm going to talk about hitting 2 aces in 1 round. Yeah, that actually happened. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. It's the easiest way to support the channel. Oh, and if you want to know one simple mistake that is holding you back from max distance, check out the video right here.
Is it that deep in there? I didn't hear it.
I heard chains, bro.
Did you?
I think I heard chains.
I didn't hear it.
Low key, I think I heard chains, bro. Low key, I think I heard chains.
I didn't hear anything.
I hope I'm not calling wolf right here, but this is the only time in a long time since my heart's dropped. Because I was like, I don't think I tried to do that.